Too close, Commander. 10 more seconds we would have been swimming in molten sulfur. The Normandy isn't equipped to land in exploding volcanoes. They tend to fry our sensors and melt our hull.
Noted.
Just for future reference.
Noted, Joker.
We almost died out there and your pilot is making jokes?
Yeah, pretty much. I like that about him. Listen, he saved our lives. He's pretty much got free rein on whatever kind of jokes he wants to make.
Joker pulled our asses out of there. I think he's earned the right to a few bad jokes.
I see. It must be a human thing. I don't have a lot of experience dealing with your species, Commander. But I am grateful to you. You saved my life back there, and not just from the volcano. Those Geth would have killed me or dragged me off to Saren.
What did Saren want with you? Do you know something about the conduit?
Only that it was somehow connected to the prothean extinction. That is my real area of expertise. I have spent the past 50 years trying to figure out what happened to them.
I think I might know what happened to them.
I've got my own theory on why the Protheans disappeared.
With all due respect, Commander, I have heard every theory out there. The problem is finding evidence to support them. The Protheans left remarkably little behind. It is almost as if someone did not want the mystery solved. It is like someone came along after the Protheans were gone and cleansed the galaxy of clues. But here is the incredible part. According to my findings, the Protheans were not the first galactic civilization to mysteriously vanish. This cycle began long before them.
How do you know about that there was a species that came before the Protheans, or that this is a cycle?
Where'd you come up with this theory? I thought there wasn't any evidence.
I have been working on this for 50 years. I have tracked down every scrap and shred of evidence. Eventually, subtle patterns start to emerge, patterns that hint at the truth. It is difficult to explain to someone else. I cannot point to one specific thing to prove my case. It is more a feeling derived from a half-century of dedicated research. But I know I'm right, and eventually I will be able to prove it. There were other civilizations before the Protheans. This cycle has repeated itself many times over.
Do you know who came before them? What their name was? Anything like that?
If the Protheans weren't the first, then who was?
I don't know. There is barely any evidence on the Protheans, even less on those who came before them. I cannot prove my theory, but I know I am right. The galaxy is built on a cycle of extinction. Each time a great civilization rises up, it is suddenly and violently cast down. Only ruins survive. The Protheans rose up from a single world until their empire spanned the entire galaxy. Yet even they climbed to the top on the remains of those who came before. Their greatest achievements, the mass relays and the Citadel, are based on the technology of those who came before them. And then, like all the other forgotten civilizations throughout galactic history, the Protheans disappeared. I have dedicated my life to figuring out why.
I can help you with that. Trust me. I know a lot more than you think I do.
They were wiped out by a race of sentient machines, the Reapers.
The Reapers? But I have never heard of. How do you know this? What evidence do you have?
We were on Eden Prime a little while ago, and there was a beacon that I ended up interacting with. It was broken, and I don't know if I got all the information correctly or anything like that, but I saw their end.
There was a damaged Prothean beacon on Eden Prime. It burned a vision into my brain. I'm still trying to sort out what it all means.
Visions. Yes, that makes sense. The beacons were designed to transmit information directly into the mind of the user. Finding one that still works is extremely rare. No wonder the Geth attacked Eden Prime. The chance to acquire a working beacon, even a badly damaged one, is worth almost any risk. But the beacons were only programmed to interact with Prothean physiology. Whatever information you received would have been confused, unclear.
Oh, it was.
I am amazed you were able to make sense of it at all. A lesser mind would have been utterly destroyed by the process. You must be remarkably strong-willed, Commander.
This isn't helping us find Saren, or the conduit.
Of course, you're right. I am sorry, my scientific curiosity got the better of me. Unfortunately, I do not have any information that could help you find the conduit, or Saren.
No, that's fine. Listen though, Dr. Sony, if you have time a little bit later, I'd love to pick your brain more about this. I want to try to make these visions, whatever I saw, a little bit clearer, and maybe just talking about the Protheans a little bit more will help me decipher it. But you can still help us. If you want to join on, we'd love to have you. I definitely think we're going to be running into a lot more prothean artifacts and just things. So having you on board would be very helpful.
I don't know why Saren wanted you out of the picture, but I think we'll be a lot better off if we bring you along.
Thank you, Commander. Saren might come after me again. I cannot think of anywhere safer than here on your ship. And my knowledge of the Protheans might be useful later on.
And her biotics will come in handy when the fighting starts.
Welcome aboard.
Good to have you on the team, Liara.
Thank you, Commander. I am very grateful.
You alright?
Oh, I am afraid I am feeling a bit lightheaded.
When was the last time you ate? Or slept? Dr. Chakwa should take a look at you.
It
Kaidan's
is
right.
probably just mental exhaustion, coupled with the shock of discovering the Protheans' true fate. I need some time to process all this. Still, it could not hurt to be examined by a medical professional. It will give me the chance to think things over. Are we finished here, Commander?
Yeah, absolutely. Go get something to eat, go check in with Chakwas and get some rest. We'll talk later.
We can talk again after you've seen the doctor. The rest of you, dismissed.
Mission reports are filed, Commander. You want me to patch you through to the Council?
Unfortunately, Joker.
Patch him through, Joker.
Setting up the link now, Commander.
We've received your report, Commander. I understand Dr. Tassoni is on the Normandy.
I assume you're taking the necessary security precautions.
I am. I know exactly what I'm doing. Don't tell me how to run my ship.
Don't tell me how to do my job.
You are free to act as you see fit, Commander. Our role is to offer guidance and advice.
It's up to you if you're smart enough to listen.
Oh, I'm sorry. We have a really bad connection, Joker.
I don't need this.
Communications cut, Commander.
Thank you, Joker. Crazy, right? What happens out in space when your connection gets cut to the Council like that?
Commander, do you have a minute?
Yeah, what's up?
I always make time for my officers.
Off the record, I think there's something wrong here.
No?
This Saren is looking for records on some kind of galactic extinction, but we can't get backup from the Council? Sorry, Commander. There's writing on the wall here, but someone isn't reading it.
I get it. I get it. I am one of the ones actually reading the writing on the wall, Kaidan. It's why we're here. But there's nothing I can do about the Council. The only thing I can do is keep doing what I'm doing.
The Council doesn't want to believe anything's wrong. I'd call it human nature, but...
I hear you. It just seems like a group that's been around as long as the Council should see this coming. I mean, it's funny, we finally get out here, and the final frontier was already settled. And the residents don't even seem impressed by the view. Or the dangers.
Kaidan, I didn't take you for somebody to look at it in quite this way.
Well, well. You're a romantic. Did you sign on for the dream, Malenko? Secure a man's future in space?
Yeah, I read a lot of those books when I was a kid, where the hero goes to space to prove himself worthy of a woman he loves, or, you know, for justice. Maybe I was a romantic in the beginning, but I thought about it after brain camp. Biotic acclimation and temperance training. I'm not looking for the dream. I just want to do some good. See what's out here. Sorry if I got too informal. Protocol wasn't a big focus back in Bot.
No, that's totally fine. I actually prefer things to be slightly more informal. It makes it easier to work together.
Tell me about it.
Biotic acclimation and temperance didn't last past the airlock. To the kids they hauled in, it was brain camp. Sorry, hauled in is unkind. We were encouraged to commit to an evaluation of our abilities so an understanding of biotics could be compiled. There are worse results of accidental exposure to element 0 in the womb. Beats the brain tumors some kids grew up with.
Yeah, I know. I mean, I still don't know how exactly my mom was exposed to ESO. She never really ended up talking about that. But you doubt that some of it was accidental? I mean, not that I disagree. I definitely think some of it was very, on purpose, but...
Is there some question about how you were exposed?
My mother was downwind of a transport crash. It was before there were human biotics, a little after the discovery of the Martian ruins. It only gets iffy around 63 when Kinetics was running out of first-gen subjects. Until then, they'd relied on accidentals. A bunch of guys in suits show up at your door after school, and next thing you know, you're out on Jump Zero.
Did you enjoy Jump Zero, or...?
Jump Zero is Gagarin Station, right? What's it like?
Yeah, that's the official name. Biggest and farthest facility we had for decades. Right on the termination shock, the outer edge of the solar system. It's where they did all the Goose Chase FTL research before we caught on to using mass effect fields. It was a sterile research platform when I was there.
Ugh, that sounds awful. Did you make many friends, or?
There were other kids in the same boat, right? At least you weren't alone out there.
That's true. We did have a little circle that'd get together every night before lights out. We didn't have much to do, though. It was a research platform then, and Kinetics kept Jump Zero off the extranet to prevent leaks.
I guess it's time to talk then, huh?
And you must have had plenty of time to get to know each other.
Yeah, we'd sit around and bull every night after dinner, play cards or network games. There was this girl named Rana, who had a little circle grow up around her. She was from Turkey. Her family was very rich. But she was smart and charming as hell. Beautiful, but not stuck up about it. Like you, I guess. Ma'am?
Thank you? Yeah, did you love her, or?
Sounds like she was special to you.
She was. Maybe she felt the same.
But?
Things never felt together. Training, you know.
No, I get how it goes. It sounds rough. Do you want to talk more about it?
Jump Zero's a long way from home. What was it like?
The grand gateway to humanity looks a lot better in the vids. Anyway, this was supposed to be a casual debrief, not a bull session about stuff that happened years ago.
That's alright. I mean, I don't mind getting to know my crew.
We have to depend on each other in combat. I like knowing what kind of man I have at my back.
I understand, ma'am. I won't let you down. You, make a habit of getting this personal with everyone?
Do I make a habit of it? No.
No, I don't. We'll talk again later.
I'll need some time to process that, Commander. But, yeah, I'd like that.
Like that? Like what? Like getting to know each other more? Because, yeah, that could be interesting. It was good talking to you, Kaidan. Thanks. I should go check in on Liara and see if she's settling in alright with Chakwas. Hey, Doc, I'm gonna go check in on Liara. You said she was back here? There you are.
Commander, are you coming to check up on me?
I am. I was worried. Are you doing alright?
You look much better. How are you feeling?
Dr. Chakwas assures me I am going to be fine. I was impressed with her knowledge of Asari physiology.
Chakwas is the best.
You're in good hands. Dr. Chakwas knows what she's doing.
I never properly thanked you for saving me from the Geth, Commander. If you hadn't shown up,
No worries at all. I'm glad we were able to save you.
I'm just glad we got there in time.
So am I. I know you took a chance bringing me aboard this ship. I have seen the way your crew looks at me. They do not trust me. But I am not like Benezia. I will do whatever I can to help you stop Saren. I promise.
I know. I believe you, Liara. I 100% do.
Don't worry, Liara. I trust you. I know you won't let me down.
It means a lot to hear you say that, Commander. Thank you.
Anytime. Hey, can we chat a little bit? I have a few questions about Benezia.
Do you know why Benezia joined up with Saren?
I don't understand it. She was always outspoken about the need for the Asari to become more involved in shaping galactic events. Maybe she thought allying herself with Saren would somehow be for the greater good in the long run. At least I hope so.
You sound troubled about it all. Do you want to talk a little bit more?
This hurts you, doesn't it?
None of this makes any sense to me. I have not spoken to Benezia in many years, but I know her, and this was not like her. Something changed.
Something changed? Isn't that interesting? Because it feels like something probably had changed with Saren too. I wonder if it's the same thing in the end. Can I talk to you a little bit about Asari culture? I know a smidge, but not nearly as much as I probably should, given the fact that, you know, we're now friends and stuff like that.
I'd like to know more about the Asari.
We were the first species to discover the Citadel. We were instrumental in forming the Council, and we always strive to be the voice of peaceful cooperation in galactic disputes. My people believe we are all part of a single galactic community, Each species contributes something to the greater whole. Although we seek to understand other species, it seems few of them seek to understand us. The galaxy is filled with rumors and misinformation about my people.
Rumors? What kind?
Like what?
Most of the inaccuracies are centered around our mating rituals. My species is monogendered. Male and female have no real meaning for us.
Huh.
We still require a partner to reproduce. This second parent, however, may be of any species and any gender.
Interesting. How is that possible, though? That is completely fascinating.
I don't understand. Your species can mate with anyone?
Mating is not quite the proper term, not as you understand it. Physical contact may or may not be involved, but it is not an essential element of the union.
Huh.
The true connection is mental. Our physiology allows us to meld with other beings. We can touch the very depths of their minds. We explore the genetic memory of their species. We share the most basic elements of their individual and racial identities. We then pass these traits on to our daughters. It is how we learn to grow as a species and how we develop a greater understanding of other races.
And what about the other parent, then?
What happens to your partner after the union?
Every relationship is different. Some unions are a single encounter with both parents parting ways afterwards. Others can be more long-term. Sometimes an Asari and her partner will stay together for many decades.
Oh, that's so interesting. Do you know much about your father, or?
Do you know who Matriarch Benezia chose as her partner?
She rarely spoke of her partner. Though I know my father, if you want to use that term, was another Asari.
You don't know who they were?
Benezia never told you her partner's name?
Union with our own kind is no longer common, not for the purposes of reproduction. Most Asari believe it weakens our species. Asari daughters inherit racial traits from the father species. If both parents are Asari, then nothing has been gained, or so conventional wisdom would hold. I am what is sometimes called a pureblood, though no Asari would ever be cruel enough to say the word to my face. It is a great insult among my people. It is possible Benezia's partner was embarrassed by their union. She may have been too ashamed to publicly acknowledge me as her offspring.
Liara, I am sorry. That is awful. If that's the case and they just didn't want to acknowledge you, then that is 100% their loss. It has nothing to do with you and everything to do with them.
How could anyone abandon their own child?
I cannot answer that. This is all speculation on my part. It is possible she wanted to be part of my life, but something happened to her before she had the chance. Benezia never spoke of her partner. Whatever happened, it caused her too much pain to dwell on it. She raised me by herself, though that is not uncommon. Many Asari raise their children alone, particularly if the father species is short-lived. Often the partner will pass on long before the child reaches maturity.
How do they end up dealing with that, losing their partner possibly before their child reaches that age?
You Asari live for 1,000 years. What happens when your partner dies?
Few sapient species live as long as my kind. We have learned to take a philosophical approach to our unions. We do not focus on the inevitable loss of our partners. Instead, we enjoy the time we spend with them. And even after they're gone, a part of them lives on in us. The union is a connection that transcends both time and space.
Liara, that is a beautiful outlook on the situation. I think no matter the species, and maybe if more species ended up having that outlook on their relationships, maybe people would enjoy them more. Thank you for talking, though.
I should go.
Goodbye, Commander.
Goodbye, Liara. Thank you so much for the conversation. I'll come back and say hi, in a bit. Otherwise, though, I gotta go make sure Rex isn't destroying anything. Hey, Rex, you destroying my cargo hold?
So, we've got Saren on the run.
Yep, we do.
It won't be long now. Saren's good, but I'm better.
Good. He's rotten. To the core. I could tell as soon as I met him.
I'm sorry, I thought you just said that you knew Saren.
Why didn't you tell me this sooner?
I would've if I thought it was important.
Alright, that's fair enough, but just keep talking, Rex. I need all the details.
I'll decide what's important. Now tell me how you know Saren.
This was a while ago. A bunch of mercs were bragging about a job out near the edges of the Terminus systems. They said it paid well and the boss was never around to ride them. They said he was looking for more men, too. so I checked it out.
So Saren recruited you? Did Saren themselves recruit you, or did you get recruited by like a recruiter for Saren? That whole sentence was really confusing now that I think about it, but you know what I mean.
I didn't know Saren was openly recruiting mercs.
It wasn't that open, and he only showed his face once.
Once?
We'd been raiding ships in the area for months when we took out this massive cargo freighter. Our biggest haul yet. I was on board checking bodies for valuables, looking for some extra credits. That's when I saw him.
Him? As in Saren him? What was he doing? Was he too checking bodies for extra credits, or?
What did Saren want with the ship?
I don't know what he wanted. He was just moving through the ship, watching. A couple of the mercs called him by name, but he never spoke to them. Never spoke to anyone. I had a really bad feeling about him, so I got the hell out. Didn't even wait to get paid.
I'm assuming the fact that you listen to your gut feeling is a good thing, but what was the cargo even? Why would he show up for cargo unless it was something very, very specific that he was after?
What kind of cargo was the freighter carrying? What was Saren after?
I don't know. All I saw on that ship was food and medical supplies. There were some basic weapons, but nothing big. If there was anything of value on that ship, I didn't see it. That's why I didn't mention it sooner.
I wonder if there was something hidden within those boxes, or maybe it was really just the medical supplies. But why would Saren need medical supplies? Especially because he's palling around with Geth. They don't exactly need typical medical supplies. What about the ship? Was there anything weird about it?
Whose ship was it?
There was a Volus trading vessel. Big one. Lots of guards. But they were no match for us.
And that's it? That's all there was to it? Just your gut feeling said to leave, so you left, which is probably a good thing considering you're standing here and not somewhere else. And we don't know exactly what the cargo was, and the ship was just a Volus trading vessel? It sounds so crazy, but interesting.
That's the only time you saw him?
Yeah. Didn't even know who he was. Still wouldn't if I hadn't joined up with you. But my instincts were right. Every other merc on that mission turned up dead within a week.
What?
Every damn one.
Are you serious? They're all just dead. Oh man, I am so glad you listened to your gut instincts, Rex, because how else would we have become best friends? I mean, maybe if you came back as a ghost, but do Krogan do that? I don't know, maybe. I mean, that's something to think about down the road. But anyways, I'm glad you listened to your gut instincts so you could be here with us now. It's so weird though that you had no idea it was Saren until now. That's insane.
So long, Rex.
Shepard.
Thanks for chatting, Rex.